Etsy's only gone and done it. They have changed the algorithm finally. After everyone constantly saying Etsy's changed the algorithm, now they have. They've told us about it. And today I want to give a quick look into what they've actually done, what it means, what we should do, what we know just now, and yeah, what we're going to do over the next few days going forwards. So, what am I talking about? Let's just dive right into the post that has caused all the stir from the Etsy forums. So let's dive over there, have a look at what we're talking about. So keep an eye out. Fido's Flowers, community manager. She posts all the time helpful things in the forum. So keep an eye out for when she posts. So update to Etsy search listing descriptions. As you may know, a listing description has always been important when it comes to search engine optimization, as Google and other search engines crawl the entire page for keywords for ranking purposes. Etsy Search now considers keywords and phrases within your listing descriptions when ranking your listings. This is new. Etsy used to always tell us they never looked at the descriptions. Now they do. So whatever you write in your descriptions is also going to be used for SEO purposes. I kind of guessed this was coming a while back. The keywords you use across your listing titles, tags, categories, and attributes are still essential when it comes to matching you for the right buyer. So what does this mean for you? Now that Etsy Search is looking for keywords within your listing descriptions, your algorithm has even more to scan, allowing us to get your items in front of even more buyers. Some tips for writing listing descriptions. Aim to incorporate relevant keywords in the first few sentences of your description. They are saying the first few sentences. They haven't said if they're only scanning the first thing. It says that it scans your listing descriptions, but it's good practice to put things in near the top. Avoid, this is important, right? This is good practice on Google as well, and people are missing this. Avoid copying your title verbatim or simply listing your top keywords. Instead, you want to craft a sentence or two that casually incorporates a few of your top keywords in a way that sounds human and written in your brand's voice. So many people forever have either cut and paste their title. Now, I've done this in the past as well. Some of my listings still have this because I can't be bothered to change them because they're doing well. So do as I say, not as I do. But don't just copy your title. And worse, people still do just copy all their keywords, all their tags. They copy and paste them into a description. Don't do that. Never should have done that. Google has hated that for years. So people shouldn't have been doing that anyway, but they're taking bad advice. And yet when you're taking keyword advice from people, always check. Like if you're taking keyword advice from someone who's given you ideas for what to do for Google search, check with Google. Afterwards, Google have tons of articles explaining these things. If you're taking keyword advice on what to do on Etsy, check with Etsy. There is so much rumors going out there, and they're either outdated or some of them are just plain wrong. I see in a forum, someone will say something, and then what's going to happen is people will read it, think that that person's an authority, and then they'll start copying that advice and telling it to other people. So these rumors kind of spread and spread and spread. Continue to include important information that will help buyers best understand your product. Yeah, your description is a description, and all of these things. The most important thing is to make sure that you're helping your buyers. That's the most important thing. We'll get more into that. And it says they've updated the ultimate guide to Etsy search, and they have. If you haven't read this, the ultimate guide to Etsy search, this should be your Bible. Look, simply, if you don't trust what Etsy's telling us about SEO, go to a different platform. There's no point being somewhere if you think Etsy's lying to us. Etsy wants to help us get the best products to the right customers. So it's telling you the things to do the best, but it doesn't mean if you follow all the best practices, you'll automatically rank and get lots of sales. Let's be honest, if your items suck, buyers ain't going to buy them, no matter if you do all the right things. But this is to help you if you also have amazing listings, then this is to help you get seen better. So what they have changed is Keywords 101, everything you need to know. There's nothing much in here, but I'll just show you what's changed. And as you can see, this changed yesterday. I was going to make a video yesterday, but I'd already just released a video, and it's reportedly bad SEO to release too many videos all at the same time, so I'm spacing this out. So they're telling you all this was here before: categories, attributes, titles, and then listing descriptions. This is the new addition. Etsy Search considers keywords and phrases within your listing descriptions when ranking your listings. The keywords you use across your listing titles, descriptions, tags, categories, and attributes are essential when it comes to query matching, the first phase of search ranking within Etsy Search algorithm. Some tips for writing descriptions. Aim to incorporate relevant keywords in the first few sentences of your descriptions. Avoid copying your title verbatim or simply listing your top keywords. Instead, craft a sentence or two that casually incorporates a few of your top keywords in a way that sounds human, written in your brand's voice. Continue to include important information that will help buyers best understand your product. So the exact same thing, but this is brand new. This has been added. So Etsy's changed. Etsy's changed things. Firstly, first thing I'm going to say here is, no matter what they're saying, don't panic and immediately change everything. I'm going to 100% tell you that all this SEO, Etsy says it's the first step in query matching. The most important thing for an algorithm is, once it knows that customers love your items and you're selling really well, it's not going to suddenly drop you out of search. It's not going to say, wow, this listing was making me a ton of money. It does really good for this keyword, but no, it doesn't have it in the right order in the description. That's not going to happen. The most important metric for ranking is how customers respond when they see you for that search term. So if you've already got a good history for the search term, don't worry about changing your listings or anything. I would just keep an eye on where you're ranking, just in case. I don't think you're going to drop off search. You can search on Etsy to see where you rank, but the problem with that is, as Etsy said, the query matching is just like step one in its algorithms for how it decides where you rank. And the final step is personalizations, where it looks at who's searching and rearranges stuff in search to show them what it thinks you're likely to buy. It doesn't think you're likely to buy your own listing, so you won't necessarily see yourself in search where others will. So you can use a tool like eRank's rank checker tool, or what I like, eRank has the monitor spotted on Etsy tool. You can put your most important keywords, you can monitor them, and that just means that every day or every night, Etsy, eRank searches Etsy to see where you're ranking for that keyword. So if you do that, you'll see, like, every day you can check and go, yep, still ranking for that important keyword. Yep, still ranking. So you can see how that goes, because that's searching directly in the Etsy API. So it's seeing how it thinks your listing ranks before personalization. So it's looking at your tags and titles and descriptions now, all of the things. So you can totally do that to see if you're still ranking. Another thing you can do, since this happened, myself, my friend Starla Moore and Anthony Wolf of eRank, we have all been testing like crazy to see what's been happening, and the results are very patchy. I'll explain what you can do to test. You can put an idiotic keyword somewhere in your listing. If you're wanting to test, put an idiotic keyword that nobody else has into a listing and see if you can find it in search. That's the simple way to see what's happening. So adding an idiotic keyword into the description, we've all seen very different results. Mine are not showing up at all yet. I'm putting a keyword into the description and my listings are not showing up in search for that. So it's potential. It's not rolled out everywhere. It's not fully rolled out yet. It's not quite working properly as they wanted it. I've heard from my friends. I'll let them tell you more, but they're seeing sporadic results patchy results. I also did some tests to see the difference. Basically having the keyword in your title tags and descriptions, and it doesn't rank in any different place from just having it in your title and your tags at the minute in time. But that's not a great test because my descriptions don't seem to be being shown up, so I will check it again later. But I would advise all of you to run some tests yourself. You can create another listing, copy a listing, make a new listing, and test and see if I put a keyword into the description as well as the title and the tags, and then publish that listing. Does it rank higher than if I create a totally different listing and don't put the keyword in the description? If I change this listing that's not, I don't touch listings that are doing well, but if I change this rubbish old listing, does it make any difference? I do want to say, right, I've been in contact with Etsy. I was hoping to hear back from them before I made this video. As soon as I hear back from them, I will let you know. But there has been worry. People have been asking, if we change our description, does that reset the Etsy search like it does with the title and tags? Now, first of all, if you change stuff, does it reset your listing in search? Etsy have never said that to my knowledge. This is one of these things passed around. Now, I've always said, if your listings are working, don't change them. If it's working, you could accidentally remove a keyword or remove something that the algorithm was using, but it doesn't reset you in search. It doesn't start again. Again, you can test this for yourself. I just did last night. Again, just made some changes to some listings without removing the keywords that were important, but I just made a couple of changes to the titles of a listing. I made some changes to the tags of a different listing, and I made some changes to the description of another listing. And none of them in the past 24 hours have changed at all where they were ranking for the keywords that I didn't change. So now, because people asked this, I have asked Etsy to clarify. Always ask Etsy. I was stuck in live chat with them for like an hour and a half while they tried to understand my question. And then they've put me onto email support, but I've not heard anything yet. I will let you know if I do. But in my opinion, making a change to your listing does not reset the clock. That's one of these myths that people pass around. Test for yourself. Let me know how your tests go. But I will say, do not suddenly change. Do not, if you dive in and try and change all your listings. You know, I hear of people that have got like 2,000 listings in their shop, and every time they see a small change, they dive in and try and change everything. Don't. Potentially, this should be best practice going forward. This should have been best practice anyway. There's a couple of reasons. Firstly, Google likes it. Google reads your description. But also, your best keywords should be phrases that describe your item. So the description is where you go to describe your item. So quite simply, if you're describing your item, you should be using the phrases that describe your item. So your description should already have these things, and it doesn't want to be keyword stuffed. It doesn't want to be like copying out your tags or something else. Just describe your item. So if your item, I don't know, off the top of my head, I wonder where I think of this one. If your item is a bronze and opal steampunk engagement ring, don't just copy and paste bronze and opal steampunk engagement ring. Think how you would describe it to someone. An elevator pitch, as it were. If you're stood next to someone and they said, oh, what's your best-selling item? And you could say, oh, it's an engagement ring that's in the style, it's in a steampunk style ring, and it's made of bronze with an opal finishing or something like that. You've described your item. You could put more keywords together. You know, it's a steampunk engagement ring. It's made in bronze and opal. These rings have been super popular, but describe it as how you would describe when speaking to someone. Super simple. So going forwards, when you're creating a new listing, just have that in the back of your mind. All these important keywords, think how you would incorporate them into a sentence. And when you're updating a listing, when you're changing the SEO of a listing, again, think the same. See what you can do to your description. But Don't freak out about it. As I said, the most important factor is generally how your listing does when it's seen in search. All these changes are likely to make it, each little different thing is likely to make a very small difference. Your titles are the most important. Your tags are again important. Your attributes and categories are kind of important, but each one of them is just a little extra ranking power. And I don't foresee the description being any more important. It could be the simple thing. Etsy, when people search for something very random and there's nothing available for it, that's the time when Etsy might look into the description and go, is this thing even slightly relevant? We want to show people stuff in search. So it might make a little change for a search term that Etsy doesn't have anything to show you for. I don't think, or certainly not just now, it's not making a huge difference. But please, please, firstly, let me know what you think of this. Secondly, run your own tests and let me know. And thirdly, as I said, myself, my friend Starla Moore, and Anthony Wolf of eRank have all been running tests. Hopefully, hit the table. Hopefully, we'll hear back from Etsy some point in the next 24 hours. So every week, every Thursday, myself and Starla Moore go live in the eRank Facebook group. So I would advise joining up with that and joining the conversation tomorrow. And hopefully we'll have learnt more by then. So I'll put a link in the description. Go along, join the Facebook group, and then hopefully we'll have learnt more by then. But dive into the comments here. Let me know everything, what you think of all of this. I don't think it's a big deal. I think it's cool. It was an important thing. Google likes it anyway. It's best practices. Don't freak out. Don't panic. It should be like on the front of my YouTube channel, like the banner should just be "Don't panic." Anyway, that's my update for today. Have a good one, and I'll see you tomorrow.